It's not unusual for finger pointing to happen after a team loses a game that it's expected to win. And so similar things are being experienced by the Australian camp. This is a headline that's come in one of the newspapers called "A Full-Blown Crisis." This actually came right after a statement that was made by Josh Hazelwood. And why this is, while it's usual, par for the course, as I mentioned, that finger pointing, reports of rift within a team, but usually those are based on sources and hearsay. This time it is actually based on a comment that was made on record by Josh Hazelwood, a very important member of the Australian team. And while the Perth test match was on day 3, Josh Hazelwood was asked about the final day. They had a mountain to climb in terms of runs. He was asked whether the Australian team can chase it down or not, and this is what he had to say. First, let's listen in.
Well, he'd probably have to ask one of the batters that question, probably. I'm sort of relaxing and trying to get a bit of physio and a bit of treatment, and I'm probably looking mostly towards next test and what plans we can do against these batters.
Now, what is unusual about that statement? On 2 counts. One, remember, Josh Hazelwood is the representative of the Australian team, and even though he's asked about chasing a target, he's still representing the Australian team, and so he had to talk about whether the team can chase it or not. And on most occasions, even if a bowler comes, while it is a tough task, they come out and say that they're going to give it their best, or they'll chase it down and things like that. But here he was quite candid, saying, ask the batters, I don't know about it. And that actually is a problem on 2 counts. One, does he not have enough faith in the batters? Is that what he's saying? The other thing that he mentions is he's already started thinking about the next test match. And these 2 comments put together tells you, 1, maybe he doesn't have faith in the batters, and 2, is there a rift, is there a divide between the 2 camps, the batters and the bowlers, where the bowlers are not really happy with the performance of the batters in that Perth test match. And actually the performance was really not up to scratch, which is why the headlines. And what is it that the experts are saying based on that? It's not just our assumption, but the world of cricket is also looking at it similarly. This is Adam Gilchrist, one of the superstars of Australian cricket, and he says, that to me tells me there is potentially a divided dressing room. Adam Gilchrist had this to say after listening to Josh Hazelwood. This is David Warner, another proven performer for Australia. He says there aren't too many runs in that dressing room, already hinting at the fact that they're low on confidence, but to have support from a senior bowler, his comments weren't warranted. So in a situation, he's saying, where the batters are already down, you show no confidence in them, that's really not going to go down very well or help the batters in any way, though he refused to be drawn into this divided dressing room talk. Michael Vaughan, former English captain, he said, I'm staggered by Hazelwood's comments. To publicly come out and say that, I've never seen that from an Australian player. And he's got a point there. Australian teams, they've lost before, they've had tough situations, tough tours, but they always put up a brave front. You hardly ever see them come out in public and be so downcast as Hazelwood was, where he said, I'm already thinking about the next test match, while a test match was still taking place. So those are the comments that are coming from the Aussie and the English camp. And this is what Ravi Shastri has to say. Remember, who's been there multiple times as a player, even as coach of the Indian team. He said after listening to Hazelwood, India would be feeling there are mental cracks in the Aussie team. Last 30-40 years of me coming to Australia, this is the first time an Indian team is feeling we are better than the opposition. So that's an interesting point. No matter what or how strong you are, whenever you travel to Australia, you know that the opposition will be strong. And even though India won the last 2 series, you started this series giving Australia that slight edge. But now, after these kind of statements, I'm sure that has given a lot of confidence to the Indian team. Whether it's a full-blown crisis or not, we'll find out. But there are chances of things going downhill from here. Australia would definitely need to win the Adelaide Test match to bring the talk back to cricket, because right now rift is one area, team composition is the other, who should be replaced by whom is the other talk, and all these things are really not going to help the Australian team and is going to play to the advantage of the Indian team. What do you make of these comments by Josh Hazelwood? Do let us know in the comments section whether there is cause for concern for the Australian camp or no, we are reading too much into those comments. Do give us a like if you enjoy our content, and don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today.